Welcome to Secrets Out Idaho. Each week, we let you in on the secrets of Southern Idaho and speak to the people who make it such a unique, hidden gem. I'm your host, Connie Stouffer. On today's episode, we'll learn what it's like to live life on the edge, literally, when we talk to world record holder, Red Bull athlete, daredevil, and all-around adrenaline junkie, Miles Daisher. Miles Daisher, thank you so much for joining us on Secrets Out Idaho. I am so excited to talk to you and learn all about what you do. But first, just welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. Yay.
So
great to be here. Yeah.
Awesome. So the first time I talked to you was this spring. We were getting ready to do some virtual reality base jumping videos. And when I was on the phone with you, you were up in Alaska doing like heli skiing or something awesome. And I didn't even realize that you did all those other cool sports. I just knew you as the base jumper. So tell me a little bit about what you love to do and who you are.
Yeah, anything with a parachute, that's my game. I love to fly. My father was a pilot in the Air Force, and so I kind of grew up underneath his wings, so to speak, and started skydiving in 1995, and it was just hook, line, and sinker, and I was living in Lake Tahoe at the time, and we were starting to base jump, and the only problem was the bridges that we were jumping off of in California were all illegal. And we got a hot tip from a friend, Donna Reed, said, "You guys got to go to Idaho and check out the bridge there, the Perrine Bridge." And sure enough, we got together and rented an airplane, and we flew out here for the weekend and had the best time. And I vowed I was going to move here after that weekend. It's such a beautiful
That's all it
scene.
took was just one weekend?
Yes, definitely, yeah. Well, that, and I met my wife, Nikki Geist then. When I met Nikki, she just moved to Tahoe, and I'm like, "Where are you from?" She's like, "Twin Falls." I'm like, "I'm moving there," and she was like, "No way." I'm like, "Yeah, the one with the bridge, Twin Falls, Idaho." And she goes, "Must be talking about different Twin Falls." I'm all, "No, the one with the bridge." And here we are. We now her family is based out of here, and so we've got like awesome family support. And what a great place to raise a family. This is a very magical place, not just because it's called the Magic Valley, but it is magic. Like the canyon here is so beautiful. The waterfalls, the Shoshone Falls and Pillar Falls. Like, this is my favorite place, is to kind of go to the canyon edge. Well, and to jump into it as well. But paddling up and down the river is super fun. But I love Twin Falls. It's what a beautiful place and a great atmosphere.
Well, how wild that you met Nikki in Tahoe and she was from Twin Falls, and Twin Falls is where base jumping was happening, and that's like meant to be right there. Yeah,
that was my sport at the time, and as an up and coming base jumper, you always want to put yourself in the right environment, as you're a product of your environment. So I came here to Twin Falls in order to practice base jumping and to hone in on my skills. And I'm on the Red Bull Air Force. That's my job. I'm on the team that travels the globe and does high performance base jumps and skydives all around the world. And here we are training to do all of these jumps. It's a dangerous sport that I'm in, but if you train enough, you can do it safely. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've been doing, is practicing safe base jumping skills. And here we are able to take those skills around because I get to practice so often here in Idaho. Yeah.
So you travel all over the world, and still Twin Falls is where you decide to call home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's not only good for base jumping, but just a great place to live.
It's awesome. Yeah. I'm tuning up my mountain bike right now, getting ready to jam down into the canyon and go check out it's a little muddy today, but that's really fun for mountain biking. So, and then we're getting ready to head out to, we're going to go skiing this weekend.
Oh, nice.
And it's just an hour and a half away, and then we're back at the bridge. And not only can you base jump off of the bridge, but we've taken speed wings, like the kinds we were riding in Alaska, and basically it's a high performance paraglider, and you run and you get the wing up over your head, and then you just keep charging at the canyon edge, and then the bottom drops out, and then you're flying, and then you can land in the same landing area that we do for base jumping, and so much fun. And I've also got a paramotor for flying around, which is it's a paraglider, but you've got a backpack fan on, like Fan Man.
Oh, wow.
Flew into Mike Tyson fight that one night. And there's 4 of us now that are flying around the valley and in the canyon here. And what a beautiful place. Just super lucky people, super fortunate to live here.
That's awesome. And I've had a few people who have come here for the first time and they just happen to be driving across a bridge when people are jumping off and they're like, did you know people jump off the bridge? And I was like, yeah, it's what makes it special here. It's one of the cool
we should
things.
get a sign up there, right?
Yeah.
Base jumping in progress.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think it's one of the things, I mean, there's a lot of things that make Twin Falls special, but that's definitely one of them and something that people are surprised by when they're driving across the bridge.
True. It is kind of a little bit of a draw. We do have a lot of tourism. There's lots of buses that come out to the visitor center all summer long. And, 4 or 5 bus loads a day of Japanese, mostly, and Chinese tourists that come out. And they're just circling us so much, like while we're packing, sometimes stepping on our pack jobs, like, oh, pardon me, like, please don't step on that. That's my life depends on it. But we're out there basically putting on a show. And not without even trying to put on a show. We're just having fun and enjoying our sport. And I teach base jumping here in Twin Falls,
awesome.
and there's quite a few schools.
Mm-hmm.
This is the place to come and jump safely and to practice safe base jumping. So people are coming from all around the world here to learn to base jump. And it's a big magnet in the base jumping community for sure.
I bet. So if someone's thinking that maybe they've got the inkling, they want to try it, should they do something, like should they get into like skydiving first? And,
yes.
Yeah, that's the first step. Okay. Yeah.
You could do skydiving or paragliding. I've got some friends down in Draper, Utah, just south of Salt Lake City. And that's where Mecca is. I like to call it heaven, but that's where the best place to learn how to fly paragliders. And then once you get tuned up on flying wings, then come on out to the bridge, because it's good to have experience under your belt flying parachutes, because when you jump off the bridge, you've only got about 25 seconds before you land. So you got to know what you're doing.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So tell me about being a Red Bull athlete. I bet that is crazy fun, getting to travel all over the world and do what you love for your
Has
job.
its perks. Oh, yeah. Gives you wings and all the Red Bull I can drink. Yeah, we have a Red Bull Air Force team. It's 9 members strong, and we do demonstration jumps, air shows. We jump into like NASCAR, football games, all kinds of things. And of course, Red Bull signature events like the Flugtag, which is like 100,000 people.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll launching flying craft off of a barge into the water. But we get to do all kinds of demonstrations from Red Bull signature events to. So
do you participate in the Flugtag? So you're jumping off the barge?
I've never put myself in a flying craft, but I've overshot my landing once, where I came in and I'm running off the end of the flight deck and I almost stopped and landed on it and jumped off the end, and you get 100,000 people going, yay! Yeah, good times. But we also do. We've got a web series called Miles Above. Oh, and we're in our 3rd season of shooting Miles Above, and we're just launching it as we speak right now. The whole third season's coming out. And
nice. Well, we'll make sure to link to that so people can find it and check it out.
We're all over YouTube. Just search Miles Above, and there you go. We've got let's see, 24 episodes out right now on
awesome.
YouTube. So. Yeah.
And as it takes people all over the world and all the different things
all
you
over
do.
the world, including Twin Falls.
Nice.
I brought the whole team here to come check out and meet my family and check out the bridge. And we got the permission slip to do some really fun things.
That's awesome. So Nikki, your wife, is she into extreme sports too?
Not so much.
No.
Yeah. No, my wife, Nikki, she's more of a gymnast.
Oh, wow.
And a cheer. She was big into cheerleading, and which is what our children are doing right now. Really big time right now. Dorothy and Audrey are flyers on Idaho Cheer, and they just want to bid to Summit to go to Florida. So we got to make a big long road trip now for a competition. And and Nikki's also the cheer coach for Lighthouse School.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah. So we get to see all kinds of sports. We're sportsmen for sure.
Yeah, definitely active.
And I just like the flying sports. So kind of branching into new avenues.
Well, I think it's funny that even in the cheerleading, your kids are flyers. Like
I know, right? They always tell me to be careful, and then they're the flyer, and I go, please be careful. They giggle like I do. So kind of runs in the family.
That's awesome. And before, how you were mentioning how you were going mountain biking and then you're going to go skiing. That's another thing that makes this place special, is that very few places can you do all of those things all in the same day and have it be a lot of fun. True.
Multi-sports are going on. Like we've got fishing. I've watched some guys catch sturgeon. It's really cool because they jump in the water to take the picture with them. And it's pretty awesome. and mountain biking. We've got just an array of sports here that you can do. And a lot of companies are moving out here as well because it is a really great place for families. And I love the community. I know that we have more Mormons per capita than Salt Lake City, which is more densely saturated with Mormon population. And which really nice people. Yeah. So, I mean, this is great. I love it. And, the vibe and like just the friendliness of the people that live here is just fantastic. And that's important to me and especially for raising a family in.
For sure. My husband and I were living in Oregon and we decided we wanted to start a family. And he said, if we're going to do that, we're moving back to Idaho. That was his like contingent that if we're going to have a family, we're going to have it in Idaho. And
smart.
So, yeah.
Smart. That sounds like you got to keep her.
I do. He's a good guy. And I can't disagree with him. Like I was like, yeah, that's definitely a good idea. And we've been so happy here. And it's just a safe, friendly, awesome place to live.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah, I love Twin Falls.
Yeah. So tell me about some of the cool places you've had a chance to go as part of the Red Bull or just doing your own.
Oh, man, last week I was in South Africa.
Really? Last week?
We went to Drakensberg and the Drakensberg Mountains. We got a permission slip to jump wingsuits in the national park to base jump there. It was pretty awesome. And then we went to Cape Town and we jumped out of helicopters and we're landing on the beach right in front of Table Mountain. So beautiful. And getting ready to go to China next week, Christmas Day. Going to fly to China down to Jingu. And I'm helping organize a wingsuit competition, Wings for Love, where we raise money for orphans.
Oh, wow.
Children whose parents have been killed in earthquakes.
Oh, my goodness.
And come home and then head to Mexico, coaching some wingsuiting down on the beach. And then come back all tan in January. And we'll just be jumping off the old bridge here. And We've been going around the world so much. I have to look at my calendar to fill you in on all the details because, oh man, it's like what's his name? The Man in Black, Johnny Cash. Yeah. I've been everywhere, man. Yeah, but it's always great to come home. I just feel like, it feels so good to be home.
Yeah, I bet. Hang out with the family for a few days before you hit the road again.
Exactly.
So when you were first getting started and just like kind of doing things for fun, did you think this was going to be your career? Or was that what you were shooting for? Or did it just kind of happen?
Yeah, no, I started skydiving and fell in love with the sport. And then I was base jumping on the side while I was skydiving. And I started packing parachutes as a job and then doing tandems as a tandem instructor, attaching people to me and giving them the opportunity to enjoy skydiving in a safe manner. And then while I was base jumping, I was my chief base jumping partner, Shane McConkey, and we decided that we need to make this our jobs because it is so much fun. It's the most fun you could possibly have. So if we can make this our jobs, then we can do it forever. And then, that's what we've done. So.
That's awesome. I've thought about going skydiving before, and I thought that like I have to go tandem because I know I get to the door and just like need someone to like push me out. Yep. Because I would just freeze there and just be like, I don't know if this is a good idea.
Start thinking about things and then, oh no, I'm thinking too much. Yeah. There's a guy, Sean Chuma. He has ID Base and idbase.com. You can get a hold of Sean and he can take you on a tandem base jump.
Oh, fun.
Which is not very common.
No. Yeah.
It's very small. There's the bridge here and then West Virginia. And for Bridge Day, they open the bridge for 1 day out of the year.
Oh, wow.
For Bridge Day. It's like the biggest single day festival for the whole state in West Virginia of the year. And but we're 365 days a year, and Sean Chuma can take you tandem base jumping.
I'll have to give him a call one day when I'm feeling brave.
That's right. Usually on a warmer day in the summer.
Yeah, so I don't feel the cold air.
Yeah. And then you can go paddling right afterwards because you're right down there in the Snake River. And what a beautiful place.
Make it a whole day. Yeah. I saw a video where you skydived in a kayak. Is that what you were? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new sport called skyyaking we've been working on. Yeah.
So did you land in the water?
Yes. Yeah. I've actually flown through Pillar Falls, swooping down and planing out. So I'm kind of, you dive your canopy at the ground and you plane out and you can do 200 feet across the ground. And I went between the pillar rocks.
Oh my gosh.
Like 35-foot rocks and just went swooping down through there. Next, we'd like to do Shoshone Falls when it's flowing.
That's going to be pretty epic. That's going to be pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of wind current down there as well. This whole last year, the waterfall was flowing just so beautiful. And the mist coming off the waterfalls just just coming up and just spraying everybody. It's taller than Niagara Falls. And when it's flowing, like all last summer, I hope we have praying for another good snow year.
I'm feeling good about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause then it just fills up our rivers and yeah, I am too. I got a really good feeling. Farmer's Almanac, they got our back on this one too. So.
That's awesome. So you get to travel all over the world, and you're obviously out and exploring and experiencing Idaho a lot. And I think some folks know about like Shoshone Falls or may know about the bridge, but what are some other like less known spots that people should definitely check out if they're
Craters
here?
of the Moon is pretty unreal, and I still need to get up to Northern Idaho. I haven't been up to the top yet. And, there's another national park up there. What's it called? The Glacier. Glacier National Park. Mm-hmm. Huge cliffs up there. Mm-hmm. Guess you can do some wingsuit base jumping if you're so inclined. But
nice.
Yeah, down here, I really like to go to Sun Valley. That's one of my favorite places. We have a paragliding club there, the Sun Valley
fun.
Paraglider Club, and we can ride the chairlift to the top and then take off and then fly paragliders and speed wings right off Bald Mountain there. And that's what I'm getting ready to do this weekend. Super excited. Yeah. But there's so many places, so many things to do. My favorite, though, is to go paddling, get a stand-up paddleboard and a kayak and take the family down to Pillar Falls and portage up and make our way all the way to Shoshone. It's quite a good paddle for children. It's pretty epic. We got to bring a rope so we can tow them back home because they can make it almost there. Yeah. And then we'll just tow everybody back home. But I just love the Snake River and the canyon here. It's just so beautiful. I think it's just that's the gem of Twin Falls is the Snake River Canyon and just so beautiful. And the birds here, we get all kinds from peregrine falcons. Every once in a while we'll see a bald eagle and oh man, it's just the wildlife here is outstanding. Like the elk that you could see. I saw a moose last summer in our backyard up in Haley, in our sister's backyard in Haley. Yeah. Uh-huh. And on my daughter's birthday, we were like getting ready to go skiing. Hey, Audrey, look, you got some birthday visitors and 2 elk were out in the backyard. But we've got an array of wildlife and I know a lot of friends. I've got a lot of military friends. I do some coaching for canopy skills, and a lot of them come up here to hunt elk and a lot of fishing, trout fishing, and there's so many things to do within our state. Yeah.
Well, you are so busy. So you're doing stuff with the military, you're doing stuff with Red Bull, you're just out having a good time and doing these charity things. It reminds me of the fact that you grew up, as a military family. Your dad was a fighter pilot. So did you travel around the world a lot for his job? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Every 3 years we would move to a different state or country. And I went to high school in California, Greece, and England.
Oh, wow.
And I also lived in Japan for a little while when I was younger. And we've been all over Omaha, Nebraska, Arizona, Georgia. We've been all over the place. And I'm just so glad to call Twin Falls home.
Yeah, I bet your kids are like to be in a spot. I know that could be a little bit challenging. It's rewarding, but also challenging to be traveling all over all the time when you're a kid.
Yeah, it's nice to meet new people and make new friends, but it's tough when you have to like break your ties with your friends every 3 years and then maybe see you in another Air Force base around the world or something. But it's great that we're home based here and our children, they've got friends that they get to grow up with. And I really love going to the Christmas parties that my wife has for her high school friends and college friends, because they're friends that she's had for her whole life. And now they're my friends for life as well.
That's awesome. It's a really great community here for that, I think.
Definitely.
So with the folks with the military, do you work out at like Mountain Home Air Force Base or Hill, or do they send you different places to do that military? Mostly Arizona.
Yeah. Head down to southern Arizona near Tucson. Which is another place I lived when I was young.
So you knew the lay of the land already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the canopy skills that you're working on, is that like jumping into forested areas? Is that the work, or is that?
No, but I have talked to some smoke jumpers. But this is mostly like canopy stacks where you get like 4 or 8 people in a row, and we just send them out of a tail door aircraft like a C-130, and then just open up parachutes. We got gear on with rucksacks and the whole thing, oxygen and weapons and the whole thing, and then we're getting everyone to line up and fly safe patterns into a tight group and into a nice landing area.
That's awesome. That's just so amazing. All the fun things you get to do. So is there
pretty lucky.
So I feel like you're a guy that's like checking off all his bucket list things. Is there anything that you haven't done yet that's like out there that you're thinking, I definitely need to do that.
Well, the drone technology is increasing as we speak, and I'd really love to figure out a drone that you could take off and go up, a couple thousand, 10,000 feet, and then fly your wingsuit and have the drone follow you. So, that's still yet to be determined on how that's going to happen. But that's one of my things on the bucket list. But yeah, I've still got a few places I'd like to travel to, and I did live in Greece, and I'd like to go back there. There's a big old cliff to jump off of to a shipwreck beach, and I like to go to the cool, magical places, and just see different cultures and meet all kinds of new people. And pretty lucky being on the Red Bull Air Force, being able to have the ability to go do this,
Yeah.
And it's funny because some of my teammates, they're like, sometimes your tickets are a little bit more expensive than ours because we live in Los Angeles. I'm all, yeah, but when I go home, I'm glad.
Exactly. Maybe you'll recruit a few of them to move up here too.
Yep. Like, they get stuck in traffic. And for us here, the traffic jams are when you come up to a 4-way stop and someone's going, go ahead. No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. That's Twin Falls traffic jam right there.
I know. I hear people complain about the traffic sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know. I think you just have to go to Salt Lake or LA or Las Vegas.
Then you'll see traffic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We don't really have traffic here.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And even with it growing, it's still a nice manageable size where you can get across town and where you still see people and
Twin Falls is definitely growing, and it's turning into a city, but it still has the town atmosphere, the small town vibe. And that's one of the reasons I really love it. Feel like a small country boy out here.
That's awesome. So do your kids get to travel with you sometimes to some of these events?
They do, yeah. Last year, everybody came to China and Mexico.
Oh, awesome.
And this year I'm going back to both of those places, but I can't bring them. So, shorter trips. And it's tough to travel for a child that far, that long in an airplane, Well,
and then you have the time change, and just by the time they get back it's time to
the jet lag. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely a science to that, when to go to sleep and when not to. And
do you have some tips to share with people? Because if you're going, because you were just telling you're going to China, you just got back from South Africa, then you're going to China, and you're going to Mexico. Yeah. That's a lot of different time zones.
Yeah, you got to know when to fall asleep on the airplane at the right time. That's the key. And alcohol helps. Because it'll help you sleep, or it'll help you stay awake longer sometimes too, It depends on how long you need to stay awake. Because, it's tricky doing all the traveling that we do, but there's definitely a science to it, and we're learning. We should probably write a book about that one, how to not get jet lag traveling around the world.
I'm sure people would buy it because it's a thing that they're like, I don't want to, that's too many time zones to hop over.
I know there's tricks to it. Yep. And if you don't get the tricks right, oh boy, you can be in a sleepy situation.
Yeah. So I know there's competitions for what you do. So tell me what goes into judging a good base jump competition, or how if you all land, that's awesome. But what else is going into it?
Well, to be a good parachute, have good parachute skills, you need to have good accuracy and land in a specific area. So we'll put a target down, and we'll get scored on how well we could bullseye the target. And in our sport, it's really important to have your parachute open on heading, so it's facing the direction you want it to face.
Oh, okay.
At the bridge here, you can have any heading you like. But basically, we're training off of the bridge so that you can go down to Moab, which is only a 6-hour drive away, and jump cliffs. And then you want your parachute to open away from the cliff.
Right, because you don't want to be going back the other way.
Super important. Yeah. So we have we have contests based on the heading performance of your opening and the accuracy of your landing. And if you fall down, that's a 0. You don't get any points for that.
Right.
And we're actually putting together a contest for this next summer here in Twin Falls.
Awesome.
Okay. It's going to be awesome. Yeah.
It's going to be like a Red Bull sort of thing here?
It's more like a Wings for Love thing.
Oh.
My Chinese friends are wanting to branch out and come to America. And I'm all, you got to come to Idaho.
That is fantastic.
And Kai, who runs the whole event over there, he learned how to base jump here. That's how we got together. And then I went over there and helped him jump off the world's tallest bridge and helped him learn how to wingsuit. And then we started putting together wingsuit competitions in China. And now we're branching out, bringing them to Idaho and hopefully all around the world as well. Yeah,
well, you'll have to let us know how people can get involved and contribute to this, because I think it's a wonderful organization and things that you guys are doing to help people around the world. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's good. We try to help children here and around the world everywhere. It all started with my wife, Nikki. She is an occupational therapist, And she would come home and like, these children, they can't get help. It's so sad. We got to do something. And I'm all, well, I'm doing a record, maybe we can branch these together. And we did. And we did an event called Parachutes for Kids. And we raised $16,000 for children with special medical needs. And then that transformed into the Perrine Bridge Festival, which we helped run for 10 years.
That's amazing.
And made a nice fund at the hospital for these children and their families to help them in their time of need. And it's just a good way that we could give back, to the community that embraces us so well. Because, not everywhere in the world you can just walk on out to a bridge and go, thank you for allowing us to jump off of this bridge here and practice our skills safely, know. And we figured that's a good way to give back to the community, And we've got I've been really lucky just to be tied in with the right people at the right time. And Sean Berriger, he helped pave the way, right when we first moved here. And now he's the mayor and still making it happen and helping cool things like the bike trail that's along the canyon rim. That's one of my favorite places to go and just get your head straight, just go run or bike on the canyon rim and just looking at the vast canyon. It kind of, it makes you feel kind of small, but it also makes you feel like, like your place in the world a little bit, as a person cruising around. And it just really gets it just makes me feel better it just gets my head together,
right.
Like, okay, I can think clearly now. And okay, I'm going to go run along the canyon edge and I'm going to put together like the list of people who's coming to this event or how we're going to do this, and that kind of thing. It's just a good place to think.
It's something I think about all the open space. Like you've got town behind you, but you've got the canyon and then all that big sky and the big open prairie. And so it's probably helps with that kind of clearing your mind sort of thing.
Makes me want to launch a rocket across the top like Evel Knievel.
I think that's the daredevil in you because I think most people are like, no, their mind doesn't go there.
Not everybody's thinking that.
Speaking of most things that people couldn't do, that the community really got excited about was your world record breaking number of base jumps. Tell me a little bit about what went into getting ready to do that and just the mental Olympics that it must have been just to pull it off.
Yeah, it was a really big physical task, but more so it was mental, like you say. It was basically slow and steady wins the race. You can't outrun yourself. If you go too fast, you tire yourself out quicker, and your body has to be able to recover as you are exercising, and I trained for a year for this. So I was doing from aerobics, running and biking to weightlifting, weight training. But the biggest thing you can do for training this is to jump off the bridge. And, I do like 4 jumps a day. And I ended up doing over 700 base jumps in a year getting ready for it, including the jumps that we did.
Yeah.
And
remind me how many it was. It was so many
64
in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And you had to use your own power to get back up to the bridge.
Right. It was all human powered. Even my parachutes coming up to the top, we didn't load them on a boat or anything. We carried them up, and I had a team of base jumpers who would pack the parachutes and then carry them up for me. And the one thing I did use was a bicycle, but still using human power to get out onto the bridge. You save yourself 3 minutes every walk out to the center of the bridge, which adds up over 24 hours. And especially when you do 64 jumps. And oh man, that was a little butt kicker of a day.
I bet.
That was a rough one. You got to stay hydrated and you got to constantly snack. And but the training, if you don't train for it, you'll never be able to do it. It's like you got to. Proper prior planning prevents poor performance. So I did a lot of training for that one.
Yeah, and I bet just the challenges of jumping at night too would be would make it harder.
Well, the cool thing is the street lights on the bridge light up the landing area.
Oh, perfect.
But there is a shadow zone where it doesn't light up, and that's where all the rocks are. So as long as you land in the sunny side, the lit up part down below, then you're going to do fine, And the trail was a little dark, but we put some lights on the trail and have a headlamp on. And the toughest part was staying awake and hiking out in the middle of the night. There was one point where there's this place where I'd like to stop on the cliff, or I'd take kind of like a little survey of the area and check everything out. And I'm surveying the area, but more so I'm like surveying my brain and how I'm feeling and my body and how things are going. And at one point, I kind of almost dozed off, standing on the side of the cliff, and I was like, caught myself. I'm like, okay, keep moving. No chance to fall asleep on the edge of this cliff here. You don't want to fall off this thing. You know? Like, take a 100-foot digger into a tree. You know, that would be bad.
Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of self-awareness, but also I think just that that's good advice for like any person in a job, like that prior preparation for good success later on. It's all about the prep.
It's all about prepping. Yeah. It's all about being ready, you know, and awareness too, like knowing what you're getting yourself into and planning to the best of your ability. Because a lot of times you can't plan for everything. There's so many sneaky things in life that will sneak up on you and that you're not aware of. You can't plan for everything, but to be ready as well as you can and think on your feet and be ready to adapt to any situation really helps. And the better you've prepared yourself, the better you'll be able to react to those sneaky situations. So, that was a good day right there. And I still had time to kill at the end of the day. And then everyone was like, "Oh, are you done? You get to keep jumping?" I'm like, "I'm done."
Like the record is mine.
My body is over. Yeah. That wears you down pretty good.
I would imagine. I think just one would like emotionally, like I feel like the adrenaline from just one jump would be enough. I'm like, I gotta go take a nap. Like,
yeah, it's a pretty good climb coming out of the canyon there. And the Boy Scouts and let's see, Chobani and Cliff Bar, they actually brought their companies out in conjunction with the Bureau of Land Management to make our trail that's along the river that you can hike from the bottom of the bridge out to Centennial Park or to the pullout that goes down into Centennial Park there. And they did a really good job in making that trail really nice. It's my kind of dream in life to make a trail that goes up the canyon, like where we hike, but to make it with really nice steps so that people can come from the top down and then hike back up, that kind of thing, which would make it a lot safer for base jumpers. And it would be able, just to kind of share the area more with local people who, hikers that would like to hike down and get quite a bit of exercise on the way. That's one of the reasons I really love this bridge is you jump down and you exercise on the way up and you jump down and you exercise. You do 3 jumps and then you can do that in an hour and then go home and take care of your chores at home and take care of the kids after school. And I love the bridge for exercise.
For sure. And I think that's an achievable dream. Like, I don't think that's a crazy thing. And so many people stop at the bridge and look over, and it would be really nice to have a trail that they could walk down and get down to the river and experience it that way too. I think that's a great idea. Yeah,
I'd like to, in my dream, it would be a beautiful, lush grass field without the ditch down there, put a little culvert in and cover it up. And then so that the water flows off the canyon can go out the culvert into the river. And then you can even make, use the natural water that's flowing down. There's a couple of waterfalls that are year round. And if you put like a 50-gallon barrel with a net to filter out everything and a fire hose coming down, you could just use gravity fed sprinkler system down below that has timers. That's been my dream, is to figure that one out and how to implement that down in the landing area. But then you need to mow it, because grass does grow really well here.
It does.
Yeah, Buell has all the sod farms just down the road, and
I think we got to talk to Sean. We'll get him on.
Yeah. Let's have a meeting.
Yeah, I think so. We'll do that. We'll make this happen. I think it's a great idea.
Yep.
Awesome.
Doing a lot of thinking about that one.
Is there anything that I've missed that people should know either about like your Red Bull team, things that are coming up that are awesome, or just things that people should check out in Southern Idaho?
Just come on out to the visitor center and say, hey, the visitor center, the people inside are super friendly. They got a lot of information about Twin Falls, the bridge, base jumping, all kinds of things. And come watch us jump. We're out there having a good time. Come share the fun.
Awesome. Thank you. Miles, thanks so much for coming and joining us on Secrets Out Idaho and for all that you're doing, not only for the community, but just for people around the world and just being an awesome ambassador for Twin Falls.
Thank you. Trying to grow our sport of base jumping, and this is the place to do it. Twin Falls, Idaho.
Awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thanks for listening to Secrets Out Idaho. You can follow Southern Idaho Economic Development on social media or visit southernidaho.org to learn more. Please take a moment to leave a rating and review and subscribe so you can be the first to hear more Secrets Out Idaho. Until next time.